All right. All right. Today another stream. Hey guys. Um this is Hey guys, welcome to the stream. We're here almost daily before stream. Um where we cover gaming news, some reacts, and politics and drama. So we are. Move this window here. Okay. And I can hear myself. Hey, hello, Kick. I cannot hear myself. Hello, Kick. Hello, Kick. Oh, I can hear myself. Oh, I can hear myself. Okay. All right. Okay. My volume is a little low, but that's hello. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Yeah, everything's okay. Here we are. Get to it. So, there was a bit here about XQC. I want to see if I can find a YouTube video about software. Pirate software making his voice. I didn't know that was a thing. Okay, it looks like it's just a short. Yeah, because the microphone will affect, um, how your voice sounds. Sound equipment will affect it, but you can also, I guess, you can modify well further than that. That will give different results. So I could see that how Pirate Software maybe may have done that. So, kinds of people. About 2 years ago. Um, so let me volume here. I think right here. Let's check this out. XQC reacts to Pirate Software faking his voice.
So I feel like I'm being direct, and other people feel like I'm being evasive.
100%.
He needs to remove his mic filter that gives him the radio voice.
Software, how's your show been so far?
It's actually been amazing. It's our first time out here at Denver Comic Con, and there's so many.
That's him. That's Pirate Software. I didn't recognize him with the hair. He looks so different, and I don't know, chubbier. Um, yeah, but you see, so my voice right now sounds a little bit different than it does in real life. And the reason for that is because it's going through all this audio equipment. There's obviously like a pop filter and all this and that modifies, it has an effect on how things sound, kind of like a phone, like talking on a cell phone, uh, has an effect on how your voice sounds. And also, there's the fact that your voice, how you sound when you talk is different than how people actually like the voice that people are hearing, right? Because as your voice travels through your bones and your body, It gives you, since it's coming from your inside, it gives you like a different sort of like sound profile. So when you hear yourself, you actually sound different compared to when somebody else is hearing you. There can be a sort of deepness. Um, so yeah, I mean, damn. So let's see this again.
So I feel like I'm being direct, and other people feel like I'm being evasive.
100%.
Yeah, and he looks different. He looks different. His hair, I guess he lost weight. Yeah, and he sounds different. He sounds like he has a very deep voice.
So I feel like I'm being direct, and other people feel like I'm being evasive.
100%.
He needs to remove his mic filter that gives him the radio voice.
Software, how's your show been so far?
It's actually been amazing. It's our first time out here at Denver Comic Con, and there's so many.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it is extremely different. It is very different. Man, that's wild. Uh it looks like he's applying some sort of filter. Yeah, like XQC says, he's applying some sort of effect to make his voice sound more deep, right? And that's something that people like. And that's something that people respond to more. Deeper voices or have a more commanding presence, right? So they can be very effective. And that's something that the serial killer lady, I mean, not sorry, the serial killer lady, the lady that was like, this was the lady that was running a business, and they were doing like medical stuff. She was like getting people's blood, and they were doing some sort of research or something like that. And it turned out that it was all a hoax, and she was just like some sort of crazy pathological liar, who just lied her way to, getting all this funding. And she went to jail, right? And one of the things that she did is that whenever she talked, she made her voice a lot deeper. She would just talk deep. She's like, "Hey, hello, I am very deep," right? But like in a serious way, and that affected how people perceived her. So people saw her as like, oh, she's like this leader. She has this commanding voice. She's just so confident, right? And there would be times where her normal voice would come out, and then people would start picking up on it. It's like, why did she start talking all kind of girly all of a sudden? And eventually people figured out that every time she talked, she was always, "Yes, I am V4. I am very deep. I have a radio voice, right?" And she did that all the time. She trained herself to do that. But even with that training, it would still come out, and people figured her out. And she did that because it's effective. So that's maybe some people have been saying that Pirate Software is somebody who is a narcissist. And I don't know that this is true, but that lady definitely was a narcissist. She definitely was this type of person who could like snake her way into like, she was very selfish, and, she screwed people over, and she kind of like, she could talk her way out of situations in a way that a regular person can't. And there's different, that's not just narcissism, but there's a bit of that in there. So I don't know that maybe Pirate Software does have something like this. Maybe he doesn't. I don't know. But man, the whole voice thing certainly is. I mean, it's not genuine, and people pick up on that when you're not genuine. It's like it's like you're bullshitting people.
People. And they love the games, so it's been awesome.
So speaking of games, what do you have for us today?
And it's not like his voice is like super like high pitch or anything.
So we have Champions of Breakfast. That game is pretty difficult.
Because I'm not gonna make fun of his voice, I don't give a shit. But I will make fun of the comparison between the voice and the filters.
So I feel like I'm being direct, and other people feel like I'm being evasive.
100%.
He needs to remove his mic filter that gives him the radio voice.
Yeah,
Software, how's your show been so far?
That's it. This is it. But hey, it is what it is. I mean, if he wants to do that to his voice, and this is what like, it's just that sometimes there's consequences to this sort of stuff, and this may be one of them. Now you get a video of people talking shit about you or people being critical of you because you're faking your voice. Bro, he legit looks like an IRL Reddit. I mean, yeah. Bro was built like Tina from Bob's Burgers. He used all of his mana on his voice changer. Most people here are just talking about his appearance, you know, and I don't think that's particularly important. Oh, hey Zoe. Hey, what's up? I was just checking out this video here. But yeah. He is 15 years older. Yeah, that does have an effect on it. But his mic is clearly set up to be more bassy. And he's done that on purpose. 7 years, okay. Oh, he was 30 years old? Okay, well, never mind then. He got second puberty at 30. I mean, maybe so. But yeah, that's that. How long is this Epstein thing? It's only 11 minutes. Okay. Let's take a look at this video from Voidzilla or CoffeeZilla. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the difference is if he changed his name, or if it's just an alternative channel. Epstein harmed over 1,000 victims, but no client list. Let's see what this is about. Only 1080p. Well, that's a shame.
Hello, welcome back to the Void. Hello, welcome back to the Void. Today we're talking about Jeffrey Epstein, the big update, which is just that he had no client list and offed himself. That's a
Start up from the beginning again.
Hello, welcome back to the Void. Today we're talking about Jeffrey Epstein, the big update, which is just that he had no client list and offed himself. That's according to Axios in a big scoop. They apparently got a hold of this document from the US DOJ.
I thought they said that he didn't kill himself, that there was no evidence that he killed himself.
And FBI, kind of a joint statement here. We're going to go through it. They say, as a part of a commitment to transparency, the Department of Justice and Federal Bureau of Investigation have conducted an exhaustive review of the investigative holdings related to Jeffrey Epstein, sort of a relook at the evidence, if you will, and they come to some very interesting findings. And it's interesting in that it's contrary to what a lot of what they've been saying all along, and that's what's kind of the problem here. For the last few months, we've been teased along with
Yeah, and you know, Trump, this was one of his campaign pledges where he was gonna, you know, day one, he was gonna release the Epstein files, and he didn't do it. It was like, day one, we're gonna release the Epstein files, and then on day one, he's like, oh, well, we gotta review the information, and then after that, it's like, actually, there is no client list. You know, it's not a good look. It's not a good look at all. And it makes me think that, you know, maybe it's like a couple scenarios, but Trump maybe, as you know, the stereotypical politician is going to promise the world, right? And then, you know, not deliver, right? That's what happens every time. I mean, it happened with Obama, it happened with Trump originally. Remember, he was going to get Mexico to pay for the wall. That didn't happen, and many such things like that. And so maybe he was just like, hey, how about we're going to promise all of these things. We're like ending the Ukraine war on day one. That was another one. Ending the, you know, the situation in Gaza. Didn't he do that also? You know, he said that was day one. And none of that obviously was going to happen. I mean, I said it then, you know, like anybody with had two brain cells could say there's no way that's happening day one. But he's saying that because he's trying to maximize his chances of succeeding, right? The Epstein thing seemed like that. But, you know, unlike the Ukraine war and unlike the Gaza situation, he is still working on those. And with this, it looks like he's done. And, you know, they just came out and said, actually, there's nothing to see here. We got nothing to show. Nothing happened, guys. Yeah, y'all can go home now. You know, it's like the cops at like a crime scene that are just like, okay, everybody move along, nothing to see here. That's basically what it is. And that's incredibly sus, incredibly suspect, like incredibly suspicious. I am of the mind that either it was just another sort of situation where Trump is like, "Hey, we're gonna release." I mean, he said he did this last time he was elected president, where he said he was gonna, before he was elected, he was gonna release the JFK files, and then he didn't do it. Right? He didn't do it. So apparently now he did it, but it's like I don't know, like there's it wasn't all of it or something like that, and it seems like Trump has, like many politicians, he has a he's prone to promising the world even though he knows he's probably not going to deliver. That could be that could be one of the reasons why maybe this happened. But the other reason, perhaps, is that he knew that maybe he's on the list and maybe he's incriminated, right? Or people that he likes are on the list and maybe they're incriminated, or people that he depends on are on the list and maybe they're incriminated. And so he knows that if he releases the list, that's himself, like that's you know, that's him damaging himself and his future prospects. So whether or not he's on the list or not, or somebody else that matters to him, or you know, he wants to protect or whatever, at the end of the day he lied, right? Like politicians tend to do. And that's not a good look. It's not a good look. It right now, the whole situation is terrible. And I don't think people should forget about it. Like I think he was in one of the press conferences. He's like, oh, you know, everybody should just like, oh, what does everybody keep asking about Epstein? That was forever ago. Let's move on. It's like, come on, man. That's a terrible thing to say when you're playing defense right now. You're just like, it's just another, actually nothing to see here. Everybody forget about it. It's silly. It sounds like he did it. It makes him sound like he's on the list. Does he want to sound like he's on the list? No. Then he shouldn't be saying stuff like that, and he should have released the list.
These statements about, you know, oh, we've got the client list.
The DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients? Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review.
We've got thousands of videos.
The list is on our desk.
Thousands of videos of Epstein with children or child.
And then, you know, Kash Patel goes on Joe Rogan and says, hey, there ain't no videos. If I had a video of a guy on an island committing a felony, don't you think you know about it?
Again, logical play out. If there was a video of some guy or gal committing felonies on an island and I'm in charge, don't you think you'd see it?
It's already seems like a bit of a contradiction.
Yeah, it's and you know, the timing on this is important. Like, when did she say she had it? She said that earlier on. Did Kash, oh, I forget his name. I think it's Kash, right? Did he say this after? Did he say it before? You know, like, because that matters, because it's like then maybe the story's changing, right? I think that there's something real bad in that list. I think that somebody related to Trump, maybe Trump himself, is incriminated. And I think they don't want to release it because of that. But now he's gotten himself in this situation. It's like, if he knew he was on the list, right? Or if he knew that he dealt with some of the stuff, or maybe he knew like somebody else maybe was incriminated in there, why did he spend so much time campaigning and promoting this and saying, we're going to release the list, you guys are going to get all the info, we're going to be so transparent? Why? That was a massive mistake. The only reason maybe he did it is because he thought like, oh, this would all blow over. I'll just say I'm going to release the list, then I don't, and it'll all blow over and people will move on. But that's a terrible look, man. I mean, maybe it won him the election. Who knows? Maybe that was like, you know, maybe it helped him win. But man. And what happens when somebody who doesn't like Trump gets in there and releases the list? And here's another question of mine. Why didn't Biden release the list? Is Biden incriminated too? Are the Democrats incriminated as well? Right? Were they dealing with because there was some stuff with like Bill Clinton or something like that, and the Clinton family. Are they also on the list? So it's everybody that's a powerful person on the list. Like, what the hell's going on here?
Now, Joe Rogan even tries to give him the out, like, oh, maybe you don't have it. And he's like, no, we're giving you everything.
If you have access to it.
If I have it, period.
Right.
If I have it. If I have it.
Right. If you have it.
Right.
But you can't say that you have it.
No, we're giving you everything we have.
So far.
Everything we have so far is
have
the
you guys
universe.
So far, like Joe's just trying to save him, man.
gone over all the video that's available?
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. That's what takes so much damn time.
And so there already was a wedge with what we were sort of told we're gonna get.
So wait, so there were no videos, but then like he just said that he's going through all of this video footage, like, or there were no videos of like of somebody doing something bad. And the video is just like freaking like Epstein running around, on his pool or something. I don't know, man. This is suspicious.
Versus then they come out and say, hey, nothing to see here. And today is a little bit more of that. It's a little bit more of the finger wagging at the conspiracy theorists, which is ironic given that both Kash Patel and Dan Bongino, who have now come out saying there's nothing to see here, guys, were saying, oh, there's a lot to see here before they got in.
Who killed Jeffrey Epstein?
This doesn't look right. It doesn't look like a suicide.
It's unbelievable. The guy killed himself.
Now, maybe that's because they did a deep dive and they're just being honest with people.
Again, you want me to get, I've seen the whole file. He killed himself.
But I think you deserve criticism if you're going to engage in this type of conspiratorial thinking, and then when it's convenient for you, you expect the trust of the people. If you're the one saying like, hey, those guys can't be trusted, you become that guy and you go, well, guys, you can trust me, right? When I'm going to say the exact same thing everyone's been saying this whole time. That's why it's so stupid. I mean, you guys set up all the wrong expectations. You told us we're going to reveal the truth, and now they're saying there's nothing to see here, and shame on you for thinking there was. And once again, this is more self-contradiction.
Did they say shame on you?
Because in this
I don't
statement,
think they did.
we actually find immediately first page, second paragraph, saying that there's a large volume of images of Epstein, images and videos of victims who are either minors or appear to be minors.
Yes.
My question is, there's no one else? In this statement, they admit that Epstein harmed over 1,000 victims. So you got 1,000 people, either some form of evidence that he harmed. Nobody else was involved. Epstein's around the most powerful people on the planet.
Yeah, what about the flight list? What about the flights that they were on? Like, don't they have flight records, right? Wasn't that a thing? I mean, I guess a flight record is not enough to incriminate somebody, but like at least it's enough to kind of point people in a direction.
1,000 victims. No, nobody else. There's images and videos. Apparently, that's what they say. Nobody else is on camera, right?
And what is the nature of these videos, right? Is it like a security system that Epstein had a security system or something, that he had cameras around like his compound or something? And so you could see Epstein walking around or something, or taking his dog out for a walk. And then you could see the kids and the victims, right? Like if that's the case, then why couldn't you see anybody else? Why couldn't you see any of his clients around the perimeter? And if it's not that, if he had no security cameras whatsoever, then were these videos just Epstein recording videos of the kids? Right, in a wrong manner, right, like in an illegal manner. Is that what it was? Just Epstein, doing criminal recordings of the victims? I don't know. It's just, I mean, Epstein had to have had security cameras. He just had to.
That would mean that the FBI director went on Joe Rogan and told a lie, told a little fib.
If there was a video of some guy or gal committing felonies on an island and I'm in charge, don't you think you'd see it?
But he says he's going to get the evidence out. So how do you square this, right? There's 1,000 Was Epstein just filming himself the whole time for like, did he put it in the evidence
That's
box?
what I'm saying.
I mean, that's the ridiculous thing about this. Why would you film yourself committing these acts? That's where the whole
And it's just him.
angle came from. Was there's all these videos for what, right? And I'm sure those people, these powerful people, did not consent to being recorded. So what else was this being used for? It's just pretty amazing. This whole statement seems to absolve any third parties, saying that they really have nothing else that they can bring that would expose third parties to allegations of illegal wrongdoing. Saying later, this systemic review revealed no incriminating client list.
This is such a huge fuck up for the government. It's such a bad look. Like, it makes them look incompetent. Like, hey guys, we couldn't, basically the worst thing that could have happened when they announced that they were going to release the Epstein files happened. That they don't release the files, they don't release the client list, and they say nothing to see here.
Now, here's where I got to say, like, yeah, what, you didn't find the little notebook that had the, like, every guy that did something wrong on it? Yeah, obviously that's probably not going to exist, right? But if you have videos and somebody appears in the video doing something bad, it's not a client list, but that's a client, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I just find it so hard to believe. I just don't believe. I'm going to be honest. I do not believe that you had so many videos, apparently enough to catalog over 1,000 victims, and not a single other person other than Epstein appeared on any of them, right?
And what about the victims? Right? Can't like the victims that that were rescued, can't they just say, oh, actually it was this guy? Can't they just show them pictures of like famous people or something like that and go like, hey, do you recognize this person? Have you seen this person? Did this person do anything to you? Right? Like, where are the testimony from the victims?
Right? He's friends with all these famous people. He got rich and nobody knows how he got rich. People suspect that it was some form of blackmail, but the FBI seems to basically say this is a conspiracy theory. They say perpetuating unfounded theories about Epstein serves neither of those ends of combating child exploitation and bringing justice to victims. You know, I actually agree with that. I do think we have to be careful not to jump to, conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
The problem is when you release contradictory evidence, it makes people think that you're hiding stuff like that.
You know what would protect people from being exploited? Children from being exploited in these situations? If they release the list. That would help. Because those people are still out on the loose. They're free to go ahead and continue to do this shit behind closed doors. So if they really care, maybe they should, release the list.
That is not being helped in this release. I don't know if they're saying, oh, we're being so transparent here. Seems like the first big release was a nothing burger.
Yeah.
Then they said they had, reviewing all these videos. Then they say if we have videos of people committing crimes, we tell you about those. And then they say we have thousands of videos, but we're not going to show you them because there's nothing to see. There's nobody on there important. I mean, it's just unbelievable. Quote, we did not uncover evidence that could predicate an investigation against uncharged third parties. In other words, there's nothing we found that would be useful for a future investigation. That's what I find so interesting. Like, I get if you don't want to.
But yeah. So it looks like they have information, but they don't have enough information. Because there's no way that they have zero information on third parties. There's no way that it's absolutely zero. And Epstein the whole island was squeaky clean. They just got there and there was not even a single hair of anybody else but Epstein and friends, right? Epstein and his crew. There's just no way. There has to be breadcrumbs. But those breadcrumbs are not enough, supposedly. Not enough to incriminate anybody. But then why didn't they release that information? I understand that, we can't file charges or anything, but still. right? I mean, it's part of the data.
Accuse someone in a press release of something that you haven't accused someone of, like with criminal charges, right? I get it. That's kind of the Department of Justice's way. Even if they have a file on somebody, but they're not going to charge them, they redact their names usually. But in this case, they're kind of saying we didn't find anything that we would. I mean, it's such a strongly worded statement. That's what's weird about it. Why wouldn't you just be vague if you had these pending cases, right? I find it so weird that the people in the FBI right now have come in with such a mission to, on the one hand, say, hey, we're going to be totally transparent. And then, oh, well, we're not going to show you that. We're not going to show you that. We don't want to re-victimize anyone.
Yeah, it's super sus.
That's fine. But then how are you going to make a bunch of absolute statements that make no sense and contradict what you said earlier?
It sounds like it almost sounds like they're covering something up.
Say anything, then don't say anything. Don't say, hey, we're going to tell you everything. What?
Even if they're not covering anything up, the way that they're handling this makes it sound like they're covering something up. It makes it look like they are.
Well, we actually cannot. We can't actually show you. And that kind of overconfidence extends to also their, pronouncement about, hey, there's nothing to see here as far as the death of Epstein, because they don't really show much new here. We knew that this footage of the common area existed. Basically, they showed 10-hour footage of the common area during the time at which this all would have happened, Epstein's death. And so this is supposed to be like the absolute bulletproof.
Yeah, but there's like a minute missing. And it's like, how did they not know this? That there's a minute missing. There's a minute missing where you can't see what actually happens. That's the most sus shit ever. All it takes is a minute for somebody to rush in there and do something. Right? Like, holy shit. Here's all that. Here's a video showing that nothing happened, guys, but we're gonna redact this one part of the video. For no reason. We're just redacting this one part of the video. Before he dies.
To show everyone that, oh, there's no way
seems so incompetent
that someone could have gotten in here. But this is not actually Epstein's door. So, I mean, I don't know the exact layout of the prison. I'm not going to pretend to know everything there. But this is no more proof than we already had. We already knew this existed. The questions were about all the security malfunctions of the much more important cameras than just the common area. I'm not sure how a 10-hour video of a common area definitively proves anything new. That's what I'm saying. You can't come in and go, hey, we got this bombshell. It's what you already knew, right? That doesn't make sense. And also, we've confirmed there's over 1,000 victims.
Yeah.
Don't know who by. I mean, like, only Epstein? Really? Look at the charges of Ghislaine Maxwell. I mean, it's insane. Are we saying they were all to Epstein? Every single one. Over 1,000 only for Epstein. The way he got his money, we have no idea.
No idea. This is the most mysterious guy.
So yeah, an incredibly frustrating day for any.
Nobody knew how he bought the island. Nobody knew who sold him the island. Nobody knows how he could afford to maintain the island. Nobody knew anything. It's just the government can't figure this out. This is man, like that's gone. It's like they're gonna need like freaking like archaeologists from the year 3000 to come in and really put the pieces together.
Anyone who was expecting anything new from this, administration coming in saying they were going to clean house, get rid of the corruption, fight for truth, release.
That's what they said last time.
You're not gonna catch me hiding a guy on an island, right? And so I don't know. I was kind of stunned to see this report. I just thought, if you're gonna say this, which again doesn't really say anything new, only it's kind of like a backhanded, hey, stop being such a conspiracy theorist, guys.
Yeah. Don't.
What I find
we got nothing to show.
Just the absolute over promising and under
delivering.
I mean, again, if you're going to open source everything, okay,
Typical
that's fine.
politician stuff.
If you're not going to open source everything, you're going to say, hey, we got to protect people.
But this is
fine.
not a good look.
Don't make a bunch of pronouncements and don't deliver on them. Just kind of a complete self-own here. But it's also what you get when you say for years that the deep state is hiding something and then you become the deep state.
Yeah. Although I mean, it's kind of strange how the video just ends
for
there.
Years that the deep state is hiding something and then
it's like he was saying something. He was in the middle.
State.
Yeah, he was in the middle of saying something. That's strange how they cut the video there. Not sure what's going on with Voidzilla's editor there, but that was not great. But yeah, it was a good video. You know, subscribe here to Voidzilla. He makes really good videos. He's been doing really good for a while now, and he is absolutely right. Like, Trump promised for years that he was gonna get the Epstein list. He was gonna put that out there for everybody to see. And then as soon as he gets in power, he's like, nah. And again, he did this last time. He did this with the with the original he did this with the John F. Kennedy, the JFK files. He said he was going to release them in 2016. And then he didn't do it. He didn't do it throughout his 4 years. He never released them. So it's, you know, it's a bad look. And it's very suspicious. And you know what? I wouldn't blame anybody that thinks that Trump is on that list and that he was a regular client of this shit. I wouldn't blame anybody for thinking that now. Because the way that this has handled, I feel like this has made everything worse. Like, it would have been better for Trump to just have been like, you know, I don't know, we're not messing with the, you know, Epstein stuff. Like, you know, Biden handled it, you know, like, just, yeah, whatever he did, you know, it's probably fine or something. I don't know. I don't really have much to say about that. It would have been so much better for him to just sweep this under the table in freaking like 2022 or something. Or whenever it was that this was going on. Then for him to, again, promise the world and deliver nothing. There's nothing to see here. No fucking way. There's nothing to see there. No fucking way. I hope that we're not going to have to wait for somebody to release a book fucking 20 years from now about actually Trump was on the list and that's why he didn't want to. I hope that's not the case. Yeah, Diddy gets off and the Epstein list evaporates. Shocker. 1,000 victims, 0 perpetrators. We investigated ourselves and found no faults. And say that again. Man.
Oh, here we go. Let's listen to this.
Kash Patel, current director of the FBI, 6 months ago, right before he started.
You know, it's the same thing with Epstein's list. It's like, what the hell are these Republicans doing?
You say that the FBI has Epstein's list. They're sitting on it. That doesn't seem like something you should do. You're protecting the world's foremost predator, regardless of who may be embarrassed in the release of that list. Why is the FBI protecting the greatest pederast in human history?
Simple, because of who's on that list. You don't think that Bill Gates is lobbying Congress night and day to prevent the disclosure of that list? What the hell are the House Republicans doing? They have the majority. You can't get the list?
This is a fucking disaster. This is such a bad fucking look. And he fucking tells it like it is. Like, why do you think they're not releasing the list? Why isn't Biden releasing the list? It's because it's got a bunch of like Biden affiliated people in there. Maybe Biden in there too. We're gonna release the list. He gets into power. Yeah, actually, no, there's nothing to see. Yeah, no, there's no list. There's no list. What the fuck, dude? Like, are we gonna have this shit and this is gonna be like a 2028 campaign thing now where it's like actually some Democrat is running for president? You know, like that guy that's trying to be like the mayor of New York, he's actually like now running for president. He's like, actually, I'm gonna release the list and show that Trump is on there. Is this gonna be a campaign thing in 2028? Because man, what's it gonna take for somebody to get into government and release that list?
You're going to accept Dick Durbin's word or whoever that guy is as to who is on that list and who isn't, and that it can and can't be released? Put on your big boy pants and let us know who the pedophiles are. We have an election coming up, and we need to adjudicate this matter at the polls. God knows.
Put on your big boy pants. Put on your big boy pants and release the list. I'm guessing Cash never had any big boy pants. That must have been it, right? That's got to be the explanation here. He never had any big boy pants.
Knows the FBI and DOJ aren't going to do anything, and we can't even get basic documents out. And this is why I'm tired of the Republican majority saying they're going to get.
I think a lot of people are.
Yeah.
No, I sure think a lot of people are. I don't know what to say. Either he has a target or his family got bought out. I don't know, man. I wonder why.
Who has Jeffrey Epstein's
Black Book?
Black Book.
FBI.
That is that. I mean, there's.
Oh, that's under direct control of the director of the FBI. On day one, roll out the Black Book.
Oh my God, dude. Holy shit. What a fucking disaster. Okay, let's check out this video. This is so H3, Ethan Klein, and he's talking about Anissa. There's obviously been a huge beef between him and Anissa and iDubbbz. And if you don't know, Anissa is iDubbbz's girlfriend. iDubbbz is a famous YouTuber known for his Content Cop series and now known for becoming everything that Content Cop stood against. So let's check this out.
Here's the thing, Anissa and Ian. As you've lost everything, your credit. Here's the thing, Anissa and Ian. As you've lost everything, your credibility, your event, your friends, your financial security. Okay, well, sure. I just want you to know, I want you guys to know something. I win. You lose. You lose everything. You came after me, your best friend.
Most humble YouTuber. And I love it. I love it. I think this is great. I like that Ethan. I like that somebody's been standing up for himself in this situation. I'm all about it. Get him. Release the Ethan, and get these guys.
You called me a racist.
Why? That's why.
You said that I'm hallucinating anti-Semitism. You came out of nowhere to back someone who's been running a harassment campaign against me and my family, my wife, who's endorsed Bannett Banata. You came and you swung at the king. And you know what they say when you swing at the king, Dan?
Come at the king, you better not miss. That's what they say. I love that saying.
I'm confused. Who's the king?
I am. And you know what they... Yeah, okay, well, it's not that funny. People in the back are laughing. It's not that funny.
Yes.
What do they say when you swing at the king? What?
You better not miss.
You best,
not miss is the saying. I'm still... So you're the king in this analogy.
Yes, clearly.
What are you the king of exactly?
I don't know, this game.
Okay.
This podcast?
This podcast. I'm the king. You swung at me and you fucking missed big time. And guess what?
Yes.
I've never been betrayed like this in my whole life by someone I cared about this closely. And then you had the audacity to come and make another video and justify CPS call. You endorsed.
Oh yeah, dude, that was crazy. So like, you know, somebody in this group called Child Protective Services on Ethan and his kids, and then claimed that like Ethan was like abusing his children and that they needed to take away Ethan's kids. And like the whole CP, like they started an investigation and shit, trying to get to the, because they thought that like he was abusing his kids. Can you believe that bullshit? Like that's, bro, that is way too far for internet drama. That is way too fucking far. That is like, man, that's the kind of shit. Like I honestly, like that's the kind of shit where if you did that to some fucking, you know, to somebody who's like in jail or something, you end up in jail. That's the kind of shit that you get shanked for. Right? Like that's just like it's fucking low, man. It's fucking low.
You live snark. Again, you are elevating disgusting, hateful people who have spent their time harassing me and my family. I look at me. This is me. I win, you lose. And you will continue to lose, and I'll tell you why. Because I'm not done. I'll never be done. I will never be done with you.
He is gonna chase them to the ends of the earth.
How much you've betrayed me and how much I want you to know how much you lose and I win. Do you understand, Anissa? And I'm not even talking to iDubbbz anymore. He's insignificant. He's gone.
People, man, I feel bad for iDubbbz. Like they make him like, and you can see why, but they just make him look like he's like, it's like iDubbbz is the wife and Anissa is the husband. Anissa's wearing the pants and what she says goes, you know, and iDubbbz is just like a little servant that just goes, yes, 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 master. Yes, whatever you want. Yes. And I don't even know if this is true. Like, I don't even know that like you can actually point to that, but it's become such a gag on the internet that like now everybody thinks that that's what it is. It reminds me of like how people used to say on the internet that like every time somebody was critical of like if somebody like comments on a girl that has a big butt, right, and there somebody comes out and says, actually no, this is I don't like this, they will call him an Irishman. And then all of a sudden it became this mythos that if you're from Ireland, you like small flat butts. And it became this whole thing. And then all of a sudden a bunch of Irish people started coming out and they're like, what? What? Where did this start? And it's like all traced back to some freaking random on like 4chan or something at one point who just for some reason said he just called this person that thought that it was too much booty an Irishman. Why? Who knows? But it became a thing. It's like that. It's not fucking based on reality, but it basically becomes reality itself. This is the perception. And I don't think iDubbbz has done anything to help this situation. Maybe he doesn't care. Maybe he likes it. Maybe he is that kind of person. Who knows?
Anissa, you're the one.
But I do feel bad for him.
You're going to start streaming now. I want you to understand something.
Yes.
I am never going to be done. I will never be even.
What does that mean?
Talking about them, being interested in them, being, I'm fascinated by everything they're doing, right? The streaming, the whatever, the events.
You just mean you've never done making fun of them?
Never.
Oh, okay.
Excuse me. There'll never be a point where I'm going to be like, I'm just saying, and this is for the audience too, because I want you guys to know, there will never be a point when I will say to myself, okay, it's time to move on from this. I want you to know that. You dropped that fucking video when I was live, and you thought you were cute, you thought you were clever, you really had me. You came at me with the laziest slop. The shittiest slop.
Pretty much.
You got my haters running around the internet talking about I'm right and you're wrong. You have managed to galvanize support for me.
They really have.
Which is something I've not been able to do for myself, so thank you. But I want you to know just how fucking badly you lose. You lose everything. You lose in every conceivable way. In what way have you not lost? And I'm going to make another prediction.
Let's wait for the verdict of the
Ian
trial.
Is down and out. He's
because Ethan is suing them for copyright infringement. For basically like trying to get people to not watch his videos and then essentially pirating his videos, and doing that on purpose, right? Like they'd say, hey, don't watch the new Ethan Klein video. Come watch it at my stream. That way nobody else gives them views. That's what they were doing. And they would they would be on like the Reddit for this, where they would be like, official streams to like not give Ethan Klein any views and not give him any money through monetization, right? And that's like one of the big no-nos of copyright infringement, is that you don't want to create a substitute for the original work, right? You can criticize, right? You can add to it, you can transform the content, but you don't want to create an actual substitute. And that's what they were doing. But I'd say let's wait for the trial, right? Because before we declare full victory, right? Total annihilation. Let's see how that's gonna go.
Everything. He's no longer a respected creator. I don't even think he's a creator anymore. I don't think anyone gives a fuck. Like after his content copy made about me that got like 7 million views, good. He made another video about concern trolling that got like 250,000 views. Nobody fucking cares about you, bro.
It is true. Like iDubbbz has kind of fallen off. This has been, if you could define like the criticism that people have for him is that he just became somebody else. He became exactly the kind of person that original iDubbbz, the iDubbbz that became popular and successful, despised. The person that he hated. That's what he became. A giant cuck.
You're not funny. You're talentless. You're a total hack.
No.
You have a paywalled.
And I wouldn't say that he's talentless. He had the talent. He's just, I don't know what he's doing. I guess he's trying to please Anissa or something. Anissa doesn't like his content. I don't know what it is. He's more in tune. He found empathy. What it was. He found empathy at the age of like 30 or something. That's what it is.
Podcast that you do for 30 people, right? Let me see how this did. Okay, so it's up to 1 month. It's up to 470. Now, listen, I'm not a mathematician, but one video a month at 470 without a sponsor, you need another job. This is not even your full-time job, right? So yeah, you lose. You lose. Fuck you both. Scum.
And look at these thumbnails. Look. He's like, yeah. He got Ethan. He got him busted. Wow. Defeated. H3 defeated by this content deputy video. Wow. Content cop busted. Like, he comes off like he's like this, like, you know, hardcore dude, but he just he's kind of a cuck now. I hate to say it, but it is true. When people say he's Anissa's wife, I believe it.
So yeah,
I am inclined to believe it.
You lose. Fuck you both. Scum. You know? Wow. Yeah, so hopefully Anissa really kills it on streaming, because other than that, I think I'm going to see you guys at Home Depot here pretty soon.
It's okay, man. She's got her OnlyFans. Don't forget, she has an OnlyFans. It'll be all right.
Helping me looking for light bulbs at Home Depot, which is respectable work. I think that's probably a good game.
Maybe iDub should open up an OnlyFans. You know, Anissa's got she's got years of experience now with OnlyFans, right? So maybe she could teach iDubbbz, and then they could have 2 OnlyFans, and then they can make twice the money. Genius.
I think they have good health insurance options. I think that hours are kind of shit, but the work can be fun if you care about hardware and stuff.
Something tells me they don't have
Ian's
good
pretty
health insurance
handy.
options.
Oh, I was making a prediction. Now that Ian has lost everything, he is. I'm being serious.
Okay.
He's lost everything. And now you see Anissa sad posting about how I think this is elite. Let me pull this up. I'm going a little bit out of order, but so my prediction is she's going to slowly start putting these breadcrumbs that maybe their marriage isn't that great. And it's not her fault either. By the way, it's Ian's fault. He didn't remember her birthday. He didn't get her a fucking cake. Wowee.
I mean, forgetting your girlfriend's birthday is your wife's birthday. That's kind of fucked up, dude. Even for a dude, I mean, I get it that guys aren't really big on the whole, like, oh, it's Valentine's Day or it's this day or whatever. We got to get this, we got to do that. Like, they're not that big into the festivities like that and the symbolism of it all. It's not that important for guys. But that's your wife's birthday, right? That's fucking big, man. Like, it's like, you know, it's like when you live with your mom and you forget her birthday. Like, it's like, come on, you probably should remember your mother's birthday, right? She probably remembers yours. You know, that's fucked up. Ian randomly showed up with a belated birthday cake. I've been eyeing this one for weeks. Wow. Wow, how nice of him. Hey, yeah, the birthday cake came. It just came late, guys.
Posting this.
I mean,
she has the same
better late
birthday
than
as
never,
me, which
to
God
be
help
honest.
me.
Freshly baked?
She posted this 10 days after her birthday. Ian randomly showed up with a...
Okay, I take that back. 10 days? What the fuck, dude? Jesus, that's almost 2 weeks after the birthday. What the fuck? Dude, man. When I was with my longtime ex, I got in trouble for shit that's nothing compared to this.
Belated
What the
birthday cake. I've been eyeing this for weeks. Now, there's so many things here I have to say. One,
yeah, look. She's been eyeing this for weeks, right? So that's a plural. She's been eyeing it for weeks. So at least 2 weeks. It took him 10 days to deliver this cake. So she could have been eyeing this basically from around the time, like what is it? Like 4 days before her birthday. And he finally delivers it 14 days later. I mean, if I was Anissa...
Oh, so you haven't seen this, Dan?
Oh,
I'd be pissed too.
No, I don't really care about Anissa, if I'm being honest, but this is funny.
Well, sure. Yeah. No, it is funny, and that's my aim, is to make it enjoyable.
Uh-huh.
Even
Yeah.
if you don't care about her. So she's been
Anissa
first of all,
the
who eyes a
Greasy.
birthday cake for weeks?
She calls herself the Greasy. Why? Not very girly of her.
There's a lot going on here.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's just sad and weird to begin with. And then, why did he buy you a cake 10 days late? And then, why did you post this? This is the saddest,
It is pathetic, isn't it?
mopiest. It makes you look mopey, and it makes Ian look pathetic.
Yeah.
And also, this cake is fucking psychotic. It's just whole canned peaches. Whole canned peaches. One slice of dragon fruit. This doesn't make any sense. Why were you eyeing this one?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. To be fair, it was Anissa was into this. Like, I'm sure that Ian just probably went, oh, I just get her whatever the fuck she wants. Let's see, she wants this one. Okay, here you go.
There weren't better cakes to eye. Why were you eyeing this even?
I don't like why that's only half the cake. Like the fruit, it should be more fruit.
Yeah, you're right. That cake sucks.
It doesn't make any sense. Why are you eyeing this one? You raise your standards, girl. No wonder you're married to Ian. Ian is this cake. You shouldn't have settled, man.
Deleted.
Oh God.
Reportedly,
I don't know who I should feel bad for,
what's his
Anissa or
boxing coach's
Ian.
name? It
Here.
reminds me of something he told us. Michael Briggs, great guy. I love those two. He told an anecdote about how they were all in a car together, and Anissa said, "My mom always said two things for my husband. One, make sure they're Muslim, and two, make sure they're rich.
Yeah.
Well, at least I got one of them." And it makes me think that
Anissa's family's Muslim?
That it turns out Ian
the
is
standards
Muslim.
were not good. The standards were not good. I mean, and then yeah, is this a 2-week-old cake? Or I think what happens is people said it's from some grocery store, and I think they probably just keep a cake like this out at all times. I'm assuming.
They might remake it every day or something.
Or it was on sale.
A deep
That would
discount.
explain why Ian bought it.
Yeah.
He sounds like he's the cheapest motherfucker alive. But like the layers of pathetic. You've
Dude.
been eyeing this?
Ethan has such animosity for these people now.
Fuck me, man.
I don't even remember.
I
So
mean,
anyway,
it's not that big of a
this
deal.
is, I think, the breadcrumb she's laying.
It's her taste, I guess. You know?
She's going to leave him. She's going to leave him within a year.
From this post?
Yes.
You're determining
I've been
that?
right about everything else I've said so far.
I mean, unfortunately,
I wouldn't be
that is
surprised.
somewhat true.
Within a year.
Especially if there's like the carrot of her taking half his wealth, and he is a wealthy guy, right? If she takes half of his money, I could absolutely see it. And you know what? I don't think Ian is the kind of guy to have a prenup. I don't think he is. I think he's the kind of guy, like, he might be like, oh, maybe we should have a prenup. And then Anissa's like, no, we're not going to have a prenup. No, we're not going to have a prenup, and you're going to like it. You're going to fucking like it. I don't want to hear it. Shut up. Okay? What I say goes. And then Ian goes, okay. Yeah, no, yeah. Okay.
Anissa is going to leave Ian.
I mean, it could be.
She is starting to lay the
It's really not
breadcrumbs.
That's I mean, I guess that's not the biggest stretch. They don't seem like happy people, you know.
Well, no,
she takes a side.
She is a complete, and I hate this phrase. I've avoided using this the whole time, but like it sucks that it sucks to admit that in this case, everything people seem to have thought and said about her is apparently true. And she is a succubus. And she's gotten everything she can get out of Ian. And he's a husk of a man. I mean,
how long have they been together?
You know, he's basically she's puppeteering him. And, you know, I guess in one final Hail Mary to try to ingratiate herself to Hassan's circle for her upcoming streaming career, she has completely destroyed any credit.
Do you guys think that Anissa would leave? Do you guys think that Anissa would oh hey, nice. Oh, we got a new follower. Thank you. Do you guys think that Anissa would leave iDubbbz or Hassan. Like if Hassan shows up and he's like, hey baby, I want you. Do you think that would happen? Because I think she'd leave Ian in a fucking instant. Like she wouldn't even think it. It would just be like an instant yes.
Ability that Ian has left. Within a year, she's going to divorce Ian. And you will continue to see breadcrumb posts from her like this. Oh, Ian didn't remember my birthday. Man.
Yeah, it's almost like evidence.
It's
like she's piling up evidence.
I'm trying to compliment him. Oh, he's so sweet. But also, the subtext is that he didn't remember my birthday.
Yeah, and it's right there for everybody to see.
Fucking cheap, weird-ass cake. So, this is my prediction.
But your birthday doesn't matter that much. It's not that most important.
I mean, for a woman, it does. It's a big deal.
The fan fiction replies to this are insane. Dude, it's your post. Like, this says everything. I'm so sorry that you want to pretend like you posting a picture saying, I didn't get this cake from my cheap, pathetic, stinky breath, shits his pants husband.
The only thing that would make him like 0.5 hotter is if like his breath didn't stink all the time.
Girl,
oh my God.
Find yourself a man whose breath don't stink. Even you deserve that.
That sucks, dude.
Find yourself a man who doesn't shit his pants on a daily basis, you know? Or at least put on some Depends, man. Like, if you shit yourself and you have a condition, I'm not going to judge you because we all have things.
Dude, that is fucked up, man. When she went live at, was it a podcast or something like that? And then or it was like a video or something. And she just says, yeah, like, you know, it'd be better if he didn't shit his pants all the time. Just kind of letting the world know that he has some sort of health issue, you know, and I guess, you know, I don't know, like fucking, I don't know, maybe he has some incontinence, I think it's called, right? And he can't hold it in. That's fucked up, dude. She just brings it up casually and says it like that. And Ian is just like, yeah, baby. Okay. Yeah, whatever you say, baby. Yeah, just let him know all my fucking secrets. It's okay. You're good. You're perfect. Like, man, I'd be so fucking pissed. I probably would have left her right then and there.
Things that we deal with, but at least
like it's just heartless.
Put on some panty liners, or I don't know. Do men wear panty liners? Panty liners or Depends for grown-ups, so that she don't have to wash your dirty pull-ups. Whites, bro.
Some big boy pull-ups.
I don't know.
It's just my advice as a caring, attentive husband.
I have thoughts.
Man, yeah. So I'm gonna be watching you guys, and I'm gonna be loving every minute of it. And I want you guys to know that everything bad that happens to you, I want to be here, laughing and giggling and smiling ear to ear.
I hope Ethan gets the last laugh. I do feel like he is the better person here, even though he's gone full nuclear on them. I do think that he's the more reasonable person.
Jacob says, "Can't believe y'all share a birthday." I know.
It's so cursed, bro. It's so cursed.
God's laughing right now. He's just up there laughing. He's like, "Yep."
With that birthday, I feel like it's a rare birthday.
I did that.
Well, no.
If that makes sense, I think it's rare. I think it's a rare date.
Late June, early July, the most active.
It's June 24th, June 25. June
25. The internet says I'm born on the 24th, but they're wrong. Such a weird thing.
Yeah, it's also the day Michael Jackson died, ironically enough.
You'd think that I would have remembered that, but I don't remember that he died on my birthday.
Yeah, that's fucked up, dude. Man, this has been a saga. And I'm just starting to cover this, but like I said before, you know, I guess this is one of those situations where, you know, you fuck around, find out. And iDubbbz and the Hassan Orbiters, Hassan, you know, Denims, Frogan. I think her name is funny, man. Frogan, like a frog, like just, and Casey Tron, man, like Ethan is waging a war And he's winning versus all of them combined. Holy shit. Ethan is just being handed W's at this point. Ian and Anissa are the plorable, half-witted morons that dug this hole for themselves. Even Nathan, dad, isn't on their side anymore, and he was one of the only people to speak up in their favor. Yeah. Yeah, the Ian divorce act, yeah, the arc is going to be wild. And this is only going to get better, man. It's only going to get better. But yeah. Yeah, thanks for watching, guys, by the way. We got a new follower. Thanks for following, guys. New streamer here. Looking to get better every day. Yeah. So I'm going to leave it here. I'll be signing off now. It's almost time. And yeah, so thanks for everything, guys. Thanks for watching. I'm trying to be here almost every day. I don't know if I should have like a day off or not. I don't know. But I'm trying to be here almost every day, probably for, a couple hours. And cover some gaming news, some reacts like this, some drama like this, and politics, and to chat with chat as well. So come back whenever you'd like, and I hope to see you here in the future. So yeah, and thanks Zoe for moderating and taking care of the channel. I'll be hopping off now. Thanks for everything, guys. Peace.